Scandinavian Bob here, hi. Yeah, a real voice and person behind this video, who has been involved in the porn addiction community for 13 years now and helped hundreds of guys quit for good. So if you don't like all these fake AI videos out there, consider subscribing. Weak men cannot do retention. Now, I'm not saying that those who do not do retention are weak. What I am saying is that weak men simply cannot do it. In fact, most weak men don't even try retention. But even if they wanted, or if they give it a try, they always end up failing. This is because so many people in today's generation are so conditioned to go for instant gratification stuff. They simply cannot allow themselves to be not even a tiny bit bored for even just a couple of minutes. And I really mean that. It sounds like I'm trying to exaggerate, but when I say a couple of minutes, I literally mean a couple of minutes, if even that. Now, I'm not saying it's easy either, because we are completely bombarded with distractions in today's world. But that's why there's all the more reason to master the art of having control over your impulses. Andrew Huberman, a brilliant professor of neurobiology, said in a podcast I recently watched that now more than ever, success will only be achieved by those who learn how to navigate around all the distractions in life. And I personally cannot agree more. And you know what? The absolute best tools you have for learning things like that are meditating, reading, fasting, dopamine fasting, and retention. Now, I talked a lot about quitting porn in my videos so far, and I will continue to do so because I seriously believe that that is one of the most important things a man can do in his life. And I have always said that quitting porn is much more important than retention, and I still stand by that. It is way more important. But I have to say, I have more and more started to really see the power behind retention in and of itself as well. Precisely because of what we just talked about. Yes, retention is probably the most powerful tool you have when it comes to learning how to master the art of not being a slave to your impulses. And not only that, I have to be honest, I used to be a bit skeptical about this whole retention thing, but I have also more and more started seeing some truly mind-blowing benefits of retention in and of itself that if I didn't experience it myself, well, I would probably still be a bit, meh, is this really true? Yeah, this is why I'm going to start making a bit more retention-related videos going forward. So by the way, if that's something that sounds interesting to you, consider subscribing for that. And as far as me starting to see more benefits from retention now and not sooner, I think that the semen retention powers are truly mysterious. And that's actually one cool side of it. It's exciting that we are not totally sure about just exactly how and why it works. But I'm 100% convinced that it has also something to do with the dopamine system as well. I personally believe that you cannot experience the full powers of semen retention as long as your dopamine system is desensitized. And it took me a long time for my brain to recover after all my years of binging to porn. And during my recovery, I drank a bit too much alcohol and I spent way too much time online, on social media and things like that. So even though I have had long retention streaks in the past, I don't think my dopamine system was working well enough back then for me to truly grasp the full potential of retention. But man, I have had some pretty powerful things happen to me lately that I'm going to make more videos about. And okay guys, speaking of rebooting and different timelines, if you haven't already, I highly recommend that you download my 90-day no PMO advice and tool guide while it's still available for free. Now this guide is not an online course or anything big like that, but it's an easy to read PDF file, almost like in bullet point form, with 13 bullet points for each week, as it takes 13 weeks to complete a 90-day challenge. It's a fun and very helpful reboot guide where I have taken into account what I have discovered about how it's normal to react during certain phases of your journey, and then implemented specific action steps that are best suited for you to do during those specific phases. From a psychological and neurobiological standpoint. For example, things that are typical to experience in the second week, and some things that are very normal to run into in the third week, and so on. And of course, I give you suggestions on what to do about it as well. So grab that guide right now while it's still available for free. You can see the guide on the screen right here. Just click on that and get it now. And oh hey guys, take a look at the video you can see on the screen right here if you want to discover how 4 different brain changes start taking place inside your brain if you become addicted to porn. Just take a look right now and you'll see exactly what I mean.